ready now to start the radio show. The Facebook is on. Ready? Gotta get it nice and close. Let's see.
Florida Podcast Network, the voice of Florida. Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Dean G. Dean G. The following will be a test pitch whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio. Ed Ryan here, along with the pretty wife.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for episode number 73, live from
I thought it
Beach
was
Time Out.
74.
73. Oh, now you got me thinking. No, yesterday was
No,
last.
with the
Yesterday was
Matt with Congressman
What was-
Mast. Wasn't that 73?
what was last week?
Well, last week was last week. I do not remember.
Was last week 72? Why do you have to interrupt me during that?
Well, it is what it is. It's 70 something.
All right. We want to say hello to everybody listening on the Florida Podcast Network and all across the great state of Florida and everywhere else you're listening. We are coming to you live from Beach Time Out on Fort Myers Beach. Another lovely day today on the beach, dear.
It is beautiful.
We have great guests lined up for today. We have great topics lined up for today, including everything that went crazy on Facebook this week. We had lots of action on
Sure
Facebook this week, so we're going to talk about all that.
What are you doing during the week? Because I thought you were working.
I do. I kind of work in and out on things. I like to mix things up so I don't get bored. So.
I know when you're bored at work. I know because my phone starts going off with the little pings of the Facebook stuff.
Why did your phone go off?
I have it set that way so that I
Okay,
can keep
for
track
Facebook.
of you. Yeah.
So how many miles did you run today?
I already told you.
Well, you didn't tell them. You told me, but you
I don't
didn't tell
think
them.
they care, but it was about 4.
4 miles. You ran 4 miles today.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
Are we going to talk about that now?
Yeah. Let's talk about that and get it out of the way. Yeah.
So
We'll save the fun stuff for after the.
this is super
yes.
fun.
All right. What happened?
So after I run, I use the facilities here where there's showers on the beach and changing rooms and bathrooms. And I was in there in the stall changing, and the door doesn't quite, the little slidey thing doesn't stay over. So at one point I turned around and the door was open. I was like, oh, but no one's in there that early. So I shut the door, and then I got thinking, I'm in here all by myself. I really hope somebody crazy doesn't come in and look under the stall or whatever's running through my head. At that moment, I hear someone knocking from a distance and men's voices yelling. And I'm like,
In the ladies' room.
yelling into the ladies' room. And I'm like, I'm going to need a minute because I have to get dressed. So I scamper on all my clothes and I go running out looking, disheveled. And there was a ranger and someone from the county public work. There was Tony Zapata is the ranger, and Tom.
They were all in the ladies' room with
No,
you.
they were standing outside waiting till I came out. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, no. We check every morning to come through and make sure there's nobody in there that shouldn't be in there. And I was like, well, I really appreciate that. And
Were you in there when you were not supposed to be in there?
no. They're just checking that once the bathrooms are open, that someone hasn't
Did
gotten
they see you
in there.
naked?
No, but and
you
I
have a
said
tendency to,
no, but it did scare me. But they said that's the intent is that they're checking, and they said that the ranger said that he is on the beach frequently, and they're getting, if there's homeless individuals on, they're keeping everything safe.
Okay.
And I hope that they're getting paid really well because I'm sure it's a thankless job, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we got that out of the way, dear, because that story was thrilling. And maybe we could tell it again later for the second half of the crew that listens.
Listen, it's only thrilling if you're the one standing there naked and,
now you're naked. Before you weren't naked,
well,
but now you're naked.
Changing your clothes.
All right. So yesterday we posted
How do
a
you change your
show. Yesterday we posted a show with Congressman Brian Mast He's a Florida congressman from the other coast. And what's interesting about the interview was obviously we talked about the water. He's big about clean water. He does Facebook, YouTube videos.
Boy,
He's got 16 YouTube videos about 3 minutes long about Lake O. And we talked about the water. We talked about veterans because he's a veteran. And like an idiot, I didn't really do a ton of research on him before the show. I did a ton of research on, listen, let me finish. I let you go through your naked story. Let me finish the show story. And so I did a lot of research on what he does for the water. Well, then after the show was over, before I posted it, because it was recorded, I went and I researched what he did when he was in the U.S. Army. Well, he was he went after the explosive devices. Like he tried to find them so that the rest of the guys, wouldn't get blown up. So what happened was he found one and it blew up and took both of his legs off. And you can never tell by having a conversation with. I know this sounds stupid. He was so positive. He was so upbeat, and it's not like you start a conversation and somebody ever says, "By the way, I don't have legs" or something like that.
I don't think that's something he leads with. Yeah,
I guess the point I'm trying to make is people bitch and cry about the littlest things, and here's somebody that had both his legs blown off, and he's the happiest guy that that we've ever interviewed. So I just wanted to make that a point. I said to his guy, I said, when he decides to run for president, his press guy, just let us know so that we could quit our jobs and join his team. He was just that, there's just some people that you talk to that you get motivated by, or that you just seem that like they're real. And then there's some people that you stand and talk to that are always looking past you then for the next person to shake hands with, or the next person. Like Jackie's real.
Yes.
Like Jackie always looks you in the eye, and Jackie from the chamber, and she's honest and she's genuine. And then, and
she's born in the best month of the year.
Yeah. And then there's John Lalo, who just, I'm just kidding, John.
Oh,
I'm kidding. All right. So that was, well, you can listen to that. It was audio only. Just go on our app. I wanted to push the app more because what I noticed with the app was you could have the app on your phone and you don't have to fiddle with anything. Mm-hmm. You press the button for the show and it starts right up. So that's the cool thing about the app. You don't have to go on iHeart or Spotify or any of the other apps where you listen to podcasts and search through everything. That's what's cool about the app. So that's the easiest way to listen to the show.
I would say I didn't get to listen to the interview you did with him yet, but I did listen to one of the ones that he does about Lake O, and he doesn't pull any punches. I mean, he's on it. He tells it like it is. Yeah. That's the other reason I like him. Yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say when you went on. Well, and wasn't it this week that the summit went on down at Bonita? And
yeah, it was Wednesday. But let's hold some of the stuff for later in the show. All right, our first two guests this morning on Beach Talk Radio, live from Fort Myers Beach.
How are we doing the seating?
Well, we have extra seating. Bob and Stacey.
Who gets the tall chair?
Ferreira. Whoever wants them. I just got an extra chair. I know we have 4 chairs, but I only brought 3 for some reason. So Bob and Stacey from the cottage, Shuckers. I'm going to make sure that these guys, why don't you give her mic 1, dear, because you know how it goes with mic 1. And then Bob, sit down, and we're going to talk about these guys have some great, you got to stay close to the camera now. You can't go too far away. That's why it's got us all bunched away. We got a TV audience, too. There you go. Sit nice and close to your husband. Like you're taking a little portrait picture there. So what?
We have to be very close to each other.
Yeah. Okay. So Stacey, thank you for coming on, by the way. We appreciate it very much. Nice and close with the mic. And tell us about the history of your family and your dad and how it all got started down there.
So the Gulf Shore, or Shuckers and the Cottage Bar, it's had many owners, many names. The original building was built in 1921.
Wow.
Yeah. It's had 7 owners. It's had a bunch of names. The first name, it was the Fort Myers Beach Casino. Then it was the Crescent Beach Casino. From there, it went to the Gulf Shore Inn, the Gulf Shore Grill.
This goes back to the 1920s. 1921.
And how long have you guys? How long did your dad? When did your dad?
So
buy
my dad purchased the building. I was in high school, 1972.
You better. That year makes a difference, mister.
Actually, you know what? I think I believe, I'm correct, he purchased it in 71, but he opened it in 72.
I think it was 72.
Okay.
It was purchased in 72. My sisters and I were kids, and we worked in the restaurant. I was the hostess. I was a waitress. I made the pies. Greta washed dishes by hand back in the day.
Now,
And
how did she get stuck with the dishes?
and she was
She's the middle child.
she was 8 years old or 10, I believe. And then Dana made salads. And it was just a small place. Right next to it was a cottage. It was two apartments in one that was a rental. And my dad had a vision, and he joined that to the restaurant and gutted it and put the cottage bar in.
Nice.
And that is how the cottage has its name today. When if I go back, when it was originally built in 21, it was a restaurant, a casino, a gambling house, and it had 100 bathhouses underneath the building.
A casino.
Yes.
Yeah, casino for years.
For years, back in the 20s and 30s.
It was a casino down here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How was that legal?
Well, this was in 1921 and in the 30s, and I guess back then it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting with Prohibition and all that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, but
And then how did you guys fare? Like, because there's been hurricanes and all kind of stuff down here. So
the building has been through hurricane after hurricane after hurricane, and it's still there.
Withstood the test of time and
still
hurricanes.
There. Yep. So a few years ago, my sister Dana, and she's watching.
Hi, Dana.
Hi, Dana. And she should be here because she is the one, and she's the one that had the vision to take the Gulf Shore Grill, which it was, remove the windows, lift the roof, and make it an open air bar and restaurant. So hats off to Dana for that. That was her vision. Unfortunately, this happened after my dad passed away. He died 2 years ago, January 1st, 1917. So I think we started this after he passed away.
You mean 2017?
2017. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
I think everyone got that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you. I'm right with you there.
But
she did correct you once, so I just thought it would be fair to
we
get it even.
We get along as well as you guys.
So this was Dana's idea, and it's just been great for us.
And so now there's really three kind of components to all that you have. Go ahead, tell us.
It's the cottage bar,
right?
We have Shuckers, which is the open air, and then down below is the beach bar.
Okay.
So we have three, and we're trying to make three different themes. The beach bar, we're going through a process of redecorating, painting, things like that, just to brighten it up. So the beach bar is a theme of Caribbean. We're going to have a lot of colors. Shuckers is just a nice open air, a little bit kind of upscale, but yet kind of rustic beach bar. And then the cottage is just your locals beach bar, like it's been for late night.
Is the beach bar the one where Popeye works, or is that the other one? I get them confused. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
there is another beach bar.
Okay. Not too far away either.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did I steal your thunder here?
No, you just don't do your research.
I thought the other one was called the beach bar, the one that is behind the I get all confused down here.
I know, and we have had this conversation because we were, I believe, the first ones. Ours was called the beach bar.
We've been there for 48 years now.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then that one they're called the beach
So
bar.
if I said I'm going to the beach bar, where would you meet me? Well, I know where they would meet me, but do you know where? I mean, there needs to be some kind of clarification there.
So at Shuckers, now that's a restaurant as well, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And so what are some of the things that people can get there? What are some of your favorite things?
Right now we're revamping the entire menu. That will be launched, I believe, middle of September.
Yeah, early October.
Okay.
So we're focusing on quality food, salads, burgers,
Seafood.
Yes, because I was reading about the tower. Is that a thing?
We're not going to have the tower any longer.
Oh, well, then I
Um,
got to get down there quick.
Yeah.
What's the tower?
Yeah.
Tower is a gigantic seafood tower of all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, with the thing about I think the Gulf Shore is
It's not the Gulf Shore, it's Shuckers.
So we've reinvented ourselves a couple different times, and I think all the locals will tell you that. I mean, I call it the cottage, and I think every local here calls it the cottage, but it's really three separate entities,
Right.
and it's interesting if you spend some time there. Is everybody is very specific on where they want to go. So on the cottage, a lot of the guys and ladies there, they don't go anywhere else. That's where they go. And the beach bar folks, they don't go anywhere. So it's interesting.
Jackie says the Italian salad is awesome.
I don't
Okay.
think we don't.
So they don't know what
I
that
don't
is.
think we have an
Jackie's gonna be
Italian
in
salad. We have a
trouble.
Shuckers salad.
So how did you two meet?
We met there, believe it or not, on the picnic
What was it
table
called at the time?
at the cottage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how old do you
All
think
right.
we are?
Well, I don't know how to answer that. You look very young to me.
So we met at the cottage. It was interesting. 30 something years ago, and met there, and still here.
30 years ago. So you've been married exactly 30 years.
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kids?
Two kids.
Two
grown.
kids. They work in the restaurant there? or-
No, our son graduated Ole Miss, and he is in Nashville. He has a career in
Love
logistics.
Nashville. We love
And
Nashville.
our daughter lives in Naples. She graduated with a degree in fashion, and she is now going into teaching.
Very nice. What do you think?
Fashion to teaching.
What do
yeah.
you think of? Have you guys gone to Nashville to visit?
Oh, we used to live there.
We lived there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So when we met, because we both grew up here, Stacey grew up on the beach, and I grew up in Fort Myers, and we just wanted to get away for a little bit and kind of explore our options in terms. We kind of wanted our kids to grow up in the seasons and whatnot, and so we raised our kids there in Nashville, and then we came back a couple of years ago, and we always knew we were going to come back, but we just really wanted our kids to get.
How long ago was it that you were in Nashville?
So we were there 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's growing like crazy right
Yeah,
now.
yes, it
The
is.
hotel rooms are crazy.
It's a very
It's-
different place than
Oh,
when
yeah,
we were there.
yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the street performer thing? Do you think we should have street performers that are allowed to sell their products?
I'm kind of on the fence about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that everybody should do what they're entitled to do, unless it becomes obtrusive to the community, and that's kind of what I think.
Are you running for office?
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
because
not.
that answer was
But
so
no,
down the line.
No, it's just that, Fort Myers Beach, it has been and always has been, we've always welcomed kind of individuals, and so, I really don't want us to grow up really any more than we are, but it's inevitable, and with growing up and become more popular comes a different culture, and I think we're going to start seeing a whole bunch of different people down here.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I entirely welcome a lot of things that sometimes that we see, but I think that most people have the right to do what they want to do, unless it's breaking the law or invading somebody else's space.
Are you guys in favor of the big hotel coming in?
We absolutely are.
Why, yes. It's going to be right kind of across from where you are.
So we've met Mr. Torgerson on a couple of occasions. He was actually
He's mean, isn't he? He's a mean,
Yeah,
nasty
yeah,
person. I don't know if you've
Man, yeah, we like him.
I'm
he
kidding.
came into
I'm
the
kidding.
restaurant.
Kidding,
and,
Tom.
And asked me 6 months ago if we had his support, and I said absolutely yes. For us, we've never considered in the time that we've been following this, which has been a couple of years now, that they're going to be a threat in any way. I think there's plenty of money for everybody to make down here.
Absolutely.
And I think anything that we can do tourism wise and to bring business down to the north end of the beach, I'm 100% for it.
People are yelling at me on the Facebook because I don't know what the beach bar and the beach pub are. So they're telling me I need to spend more time on the beach, dear. So just the people that are watching, they want me to spend more time on the beach.
You need to do more research. That is true.
That's John Lalo straightened it out. It's the beach pub, I guess, and the beach bar. I only hang out at Pete's Time Out. So
I'm going to segue back to their business. Do you guys have bands at any of your establishments?
We do. During season, we have bands 7 nights a week.
Okay.
in the cottage, and we're open till 2:00 in the morning. So we have bands till 2 in the morning. Then during the off season, we cut it back to midnight just because we just have less people in the restaurant. But we do want to continue having bands because we're really one of the few people on the beach that are open till 2 in the morning. During the season, we also have an acoustic person that's in Chuckers. So we have bands from 4 in the afternoon until 2 in the morning during season.
Well, I work with someone who has a band, and I apologize that I don't know the name of his band, but no. Well, I haven't seen them because I can't get out late, but he has played at your place, or his band has played at your place, and they love it. He's said nothing but wonderful things about the atmosphere and how great it is. So, people that go there and people that play there, we need to get out at night. See, we turn into pumpkins, and so we can't get out at night.
Well, I go to bed at 8:00, but you're totally welcome to go out if you want to go out. You went out last night. Don't make it sound like you don't go out. You were out late last night with the girls.
Oh, yes. And late, by definition, folks, is 8 p.m. I was home by 8 p.m.
We're early birds as well, but typically lately, just to get ready for season, we've been there till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and so it's not playtime, it's work time. But it's
roar offshore.
And the roar offshore.
I know you wanted to talk about the what's going on with the boats and the roar and what you have going on. So
sure. So we made the commitment about 3 weeks ago to be one of the corporate sponsors, and that has we're very excited about that. And the organizers of Raw Offshore are just very, very sweet people. Yeah. And
Tim and Cindy.
Yeah. That's correct. And so I just feel like it's a great chance to kind of give back to the community and just kind of represent us in that and try to represent our commitment to having the Raw Offshore. I know there's a lot to do related to that.
By the way, I don't mean to interrupt, but you guys are pulling in big numbers today. Just want you to know that. A lot of people. I mean, only Torgerson's been bigger than you guys, so okay. You're doing great. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Wow. So, the Roar Offshore, correct me if I'm wrong, has been here in the past, but not in the recent past?
Correct.
And were you sponsors back then, or is this a new sponsorship for you guys?
It was the last time it was here was 2006.
Okay.
And I believe the reason that it did not come back is they did not have sponsors. They need sponsorship.
And so you guys stepped up.
Yeah, but back in the day, when it first came, my dad was one of the men, along with another gentleman, Bob Brown, who helped bring the roar. It wasn't called Roar Offshore then, but helped bring it here then. Mm-hmm. So Tim approached us and asked us if we would be interested in sponsoring. And of course we said absolutely. So we're excited. We're very excited. We're going to have live entertainment all day, starting at noon, all into the evening till midnight.
We're actually going to open at 10. But I did commit to Tim and Cindy that we committed for the next 5 years.
Whoa!
Wow! You heard it here first.
Yeah, and we'll just commit and hold our sponsorship as long as.
Well, that's our contract.
We're here.
That's their contract with the boats. With the event is 5 years, and so I just told them that we're doing it for 5 years, and hopefully after that.
I didn't know it was 5 years. Mm-hmm. I thought it was 1 year. Let's see how it goes, but cool.
It was 5 years. Yeah, that's what we signed. So
Tim was saying 70,000 people.
70,000.
You think you can fit that many people into your place down there?
No.
How many bathrooms you got, by the way?
Well,
we have 5. Yeah. And we're gonna have.
That's a whole nother story.
Have porta potties too.
Okay, cool. Now, are you responsible for your own porta potties? Because I think one of the things that they brought up at the meeting this week was, hey, everybody else is going to have some extra business. Maybe it shouldn't be just Roar Offshore that has to pay for the porta potties. Maybe every business that knows they're going to have these extra. Maybe they're already doing that. I don't know.
My understanding from Tim and Cindy is that that has the porta potty kind of issue has kind of stirred up in the past month or so, just because of the kind of the town's commitment on that. And with that amount of people, obviously you got to have them. You got to have them. So I'm not really sure what the town's doing. Hopefully that they're gonna step it up and get some, but we're gonna get our own down there.
Oh, I don't think the town's get's getting any.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, we're gonna need them because
the town wants the Roar Offshore people. The way I understood it on Monday, did you watch the meeting? That they expect that there's going to be a plan that they put together that has the porta potties, and maybe the businesses pitch in so that
we're
they
gonna
don't have.
we're gonna do our own.
Yeah, how many are you gonna have? That's
I
a dumb question.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
joking
we've
around.
decided
I don't
yet.
want everybody coming over to use our.
Right.
porta
Well,
potties.
that's what's going to happen. You know, can I use your bathroom? I mean, what are you doing? Somebody has to go. They have to go.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think you're going to stand. I don't think they're going to have the time to monitor the porta potty line and see, who's come from where. But
we've been to these races where they have. You
Yeah.
think they have porta potties and there's enough, and then people are waiting in long lines because when there's beer involved and alcohol involved, people, especially old people like me, you got to go every 15, 20 minutes.
With this amount,
I would need my own.
well, maybe you should pay for your own.
How much does one
with this
cost,
amount of
Bob?
people, I think everybody may be waiting in line everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
All right, enough of talking about bathrooms. So what else did you want to talk about your restaurant, or why people should come down and see you guys, or listen to the music, or enjoy the food or the new menu?
I guess I don't mind if I just talk for a second. I guess I just want to say that we're really proud of the fact how long that we've been, in the community. We're going on our 50th year anniversary. Over those years, we have had a series of people that have leased the restaurant from us, and so so I think people get a little confused on, because we hear on social media, the new owners or
I am confused by that. You leased the restaurant out to somebody else?
no, years ago.
Oh,
what
okay.
we
Years
did
ago,
was-
it was
Gotcha.
leased.
we leased it out for people to come in, and then we would, it was still our restaurant.
Gotcha.
We still owned it, but
But they operated.
they operated it correct. But we decided to take over operation, and take kind of the business back. And
So let me clarify. So it's the same owners since 1972, but we're second generation owners.
Right. And so, you can lease out. It's your building if you want to lease it out to
Right.
somebody else. You
Right,
can.
but-
But as of now,
But right now we're operating it
And
ourselves.
owning it.
We're not leasing it
and
anymore.
we're no longer going to lease it out. It's
Right.
gonna go to the next generation after us. So.
So so who's coming up through the ranks? Are you grooming the next generation
We're
now?
recruiting at the moment. Not grooming, recruiting. So so they're gonna have to just step on up. Rob and Erica and Ricky and
That's got to be. Is it a
Luke.
tough business? Restaurant business is a tough business.
And
It
Lil-
is
and
tough.
Lily. Yeah.
It is tough.
It is.
So is podcasting.
It's a
really-
lot of work.
It is a lot of
A
work.
lot of work.
Oh, the restaurant business? Yeah, that's probably a lot of work too. Yeah. So Tim was saying, I don't mean to get back to the porta potties, but Tim was saying like he must own a business or something. He's like, they know they need to get them, but they don't know where they're supposed to put them or allowed to put them. And I know Roger was saying that for the right of ways where you get to the beach, I don't think they've given any permission to put them there. I don't know why, or there's probably a good reason for that, I guess. But maybe there needs to be some clarification. If you're going to get them, are you going to get in trouble for putting them in the wrong
Exactly.
spot, or
We've
can you
got
put
to
them
find
here?
that out.
So
We're gonna have them on our property. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that for the customers.
Honestly, I
But
don't think
where on the
people-
property?
yeah, right.
That's the question.
identified a spot
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll let you know when we do.
Potty spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bob, let's not avoid the elephant in the room. If we could just touch on that for a second.
Here we go.
I don't know if the ladies want to exit for our quick conversation on this, but obviously
We're here.
there was a video that was posted to Facebook that took place outside your restaurant, which really we've never had a video that had as many views as that video there, 130,000 views, and that's crazy. But what's going on down there?
So, first of all, I want to say I think that was an unfortunate situation. We did not post that video. It was taken. I actually had my guys, maintenance and security, film it just for our own protection. Is why I did it.
But then you said there was 5 other people out there filming.
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we got all kinds of
Yeah,
different angles sent to us.
So
So
here's
yeah,
what happened. I just got to say what happened. So I'm.
Okay, hang on. I was there.
I know. So I'm at home after the filming.
just like us, dear.
I'm on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I see in my news feed that you have the video. And I'm like, I say to Bob, oh my God, someone sent the video to Beach Talk Radio.
Well, listen,
And
let me tell you how it happened. I go to bed at 8:00, so it was 8:05, and I'm just checking my phone for the last time, and I got it from 5 different people, so I had to get back up because you can't let that go till
No.
the next day.
He jumps out of bed like he's on fire because he never gets out of bed. Like I could be on fire. He's not getting up. So the video, did it.
You know how to stop, drop, and roll. You'd have been fine.
Let
So
me finish what I was saying.
Yes,
please.
go ahead.
So this is kind of what I want to say about the video. So it went out there. It did go viral, and I tried to be as polite as I could to Bob Conadaris. I know he's getting older now and all that, and quite frankly, I felt sorry for him the whole time he was cursing at me, to be honest with you. But I would. But the fact of the matter is he's been doing this to us for 50 years.
This is
And-
not the first video.
and
There's other videos that
we as a management team have just tolerated that kind of treatment from him. And so when I became managing partner a year ago, I just said no more. I think Bob Conadaris has done some good things for the beach.
for sure.
But that said, I think when you make statements like, this is my beach and I own the beach and things like that, that's not only an insult to us, it's an insult to the rest of the business owners and the people that live on the beach. This is everybody's beach, and everybody has the right to have a business, and so that's really all I want to say about that. He tried to sue us in a frivolous lawsuit last year. That was thrown out. Actually, his attorney dropped out of the case because it was so frivolous, and so we were all over the news when we were getting sued by him. He was suing us and the town of Fort Myers Beach, and that went out there on the news, and it never came back out that it didn't go anywhere. So, and actually, if you go on the clerk of courts, which is public information, you'll see pages and pages and pages of people that he has sued over the past 50 years. Yeah. So
I did actually go on there when I was doing my research about your guys' stuff, and the information about the suit being brought. So then I went to see what happened.
Mhm.
And I was on there forever and I couldn't find anything. And now that's why. But while I was looking for that stuff, there was a whole host of other things that came up. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So listen, we don't have anything against the Conadarises.
Right.
Actually, his kids eat in our restaurant, to be quite honest with you. All I want to say is that it's not right for him to come over to somebody else's property, and I wouldn't do that to his property.
Well, let me interrupt for a second, because when I saw the video the first time, I thought, oh my gosh, you're doing something wrong. Like, you're out too far, or you're out where you're not supposed to be. And he's a respectable person on the beach. At the time, I'd never even seen him before. And my first reaction was, why are you out on the beach when you're not supposed to be with your tables and things like that? Because if you're watching that for the first time, it almost looks like he's trying to enforce some rules that maybe you didn't know about, or you're trying, if you're trying to sneak out past the red line here, the guy with the tickets will come by and get you. So, it turned out to be totally far from that.
Correct.
But that's what I thought when I saw that. Until you learn from people that
you're correct, and when you look at the statements, kind of, because there was so many comments, for and against and whatever. The fact of the matter is that we can sell alcohol on the beach in that roped area. We have every legal right to do so, and we can sell alcohol on the beach
in the roped in area.
In the roped in area.
That's why it's roped in from
and
in
so
to in.
that's why I was so confused about what he was trying to say. But that's one of many times that he's come over. He's come over about a parking spaces. So anyway, all I really want to say about that situation is that we've handled it. Yeah. And I've taken steps to have Mr. Conadaris not on our property anymore. And we're just not going to tolerate our customers getting harassed any longer.
And especially in front of the women and the children.
Yeah, there were kids in the picture. I saw kids in the picture.
There.
So
it was awful.
Well, every time I go by the place, it's packed. So I don't know what the problem is. The place, even when other places are wicked slow, that place is always crowded, unless they're cars that are just fake cars that are just parked sideways and this way and across the street. No. They're always crowded. So why can't everybody just enjoy the money?
and I think there's plenty of money to go around. And I think everybody just needs to kind of realize that, we're one community, and we need to kind of stick together on that, because tourism is our business.
Yeah. Well, let's end on a high note. What is it about the beach that keeps you guys here, that you love about Fort Myers Beach, that it makes it so much more unique than any other beach? I mean, what is it about the beach?
Do you want to comment on that?
I think what I would say is just the people of the community. We're a family. And to me, it's a small community. We all know each other. Maybe everybody doesn't know me because I've been gone for so long, but I'm back as of a year ago. My husband and I moved back when Bob took an early retirement out of healthcare administration. We came back a year ago, but I think it's just the love of the people in the community. And I think what really makes it extra unique is Beach Talk Radio.
Oh,
Having you
my
guys.
gosh. Did you
Now-
pay her?
Yeah.
Did you say, what is that?
And now that's what
Yeah.
somebody's going to say.
Yeah.
They're going to say, all right,
I-
now we're
That's
getting
why we're
paid by
here.
you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Actually,
so
and my take on this is there because I'm there every day because I'm the managing partner. But is that our employees? I mean, our employees are what is who makes the shuckers at the Gulf Shore.
Shuckers.
And we've
And
had
the
we've had
cottage.
bartenders and servers that have been there for 25 years.
Well, that's
I-
what we came down here for. I mean, we need to go down there and meet your people, but it was Terry and Angie and John and Debbie. I mean, that just keep you coming down, and Sarah and everybody that works here. And you're right. It's the people that are down
So-
here, and it's the we kid them and we joke with them, but it's the people that are on the council and the mayor and Ray and those guys
Yeah.
and some others that are no longer there that made it fun.
It's great talking to our locals. Some of them have been sitting in the same seat at the cottage for 30 years. I'm not kidding you.
the
and-
same see, and it's fun because we're there and we go. I feel like it's Cheers
Right.
because we.
That's
go
the
in
way it
there
was
and
here
we
with Gene,
sit
yeah.
and we talk and we have a grand time.
Well, we'd love to do a show down there once.
Absolutely, I would love it.
We're very expensive now that you said that, by the way. So thank you very much. The price keeps going up.
Let's do it.
Well, thank you guys for
Yeah.
coming on so much. I
you.
appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
and we
Thanks for
look
having
forward to
us.
coming
Thanks for
down there and seeing you guys during the boat races and all that.
Absolutely.
And
Thanks for having the
yeah.
show. We're avid watchers.
Oh, that's
Seriously, we
crazy.
really are. Yeah.
You guys should find something more important to do than watch us. It's crazy. I love when people say that, though.
Let me give you your mic back.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Big
so
hand for the folks from Shuckers and the Cottage. You got a big fan base.
And the
Wow,
beach bar.
big numbers for Bob and Stacey. They had big numbers, and they just kept going up.
much. Well, they're both very well spoken.
So while I take care of business, you're going to say hi to Katy over there with
Okay.
Jackie. And, I know you don't like to read the ads, but I'll read the ads. So we want to remind everybody about our good friends at, she's pulling the headphones with her. She's at Fort Myers Beach Remodeling, Designs and Remodeling. Jackie and Ed do an awesome job. We know they got a couple of killer projects that they're working on thanks to the show. So, sponsorships are always nice. If you're interested, just give us a call. But anyway, if you want a great looking beach bathroom or any kind of or change to your house, your living room, your dining room, your bathroom, your den, your man cave, anything like that. She's been over to our house too and helped Kim out because she's got terrible taste in colors and furniture and things like that. She had one of the tables out in the garage last weekend and just started painting it white. It was dark brown before that, so I think she's trying to make it a beach thing. So, Nikki, you need to come over again. At Fort Myers Beach Designs and Remodeling. You can find them on Facebook. You can search for some pictures, before and after pictures of what they do. They're just awesome and nice people on top of it. Of course, they're nice people because we only hang out with nice people. So, Kim's back with our next guest. Katy has got something really cool going on. She is an intern with the Chamber of Commerce, but even more than that, she's going to FGCU in the hospitality program. So she's going to explain to you exactly what's going on. I think everyone needs a microphone, probably. That's your microphone, wife.
Thank you.
You got to learn these transitions a little better.
I know.
All right.
These
And Katy,
earphones are
Katy
piece
is
of
good to
junk.
go. Nice and close, Katy.
Okay.
Say hello to all your fans right here.
Hi.
There you go. There's Katy.
So, Katy, you're in the hospitality and management program.
Yeah, resort and hospitality management at FGCU.
And what year are you in?
I'm going into my senior year, so we just started last week, and everything's been off to a good start.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, so that area. I'm really from Satellite Beach, but more people know Cocoa
Cocoa
than
Beach.
they do.
And what made you come to FGCU? Was it the program or?
So I actually came into FGCU as a psychology major,
Okay.
and I wanted to work in HR. And then going into my sophomore year, I was like, I don't want to do this. So I actually looked up all the degrees online, and I had seen resort and hospitality management, and I called my mom up and I was like, how do you feel about this? And she goes, I think you'd do great. And I was like, cool, I'm changing my major. But I came to the school mostly for the scenery, the environment around here. I fell in love with it. After all the schools I toured, I was like, this is where I need to be.
I think FGCU, it is a beautiful campus.
Mhm.
It's a good size. It's new. They have a great staff there. And
Yeah.
I think it's very common for folks who are in college to change their major
Yeah.
at least once.
That's what I heard going into it, so I wasn't too worried. I'm still staying in like kind of a management like style, but I did feel that this resort and hospitality track was way better for me. So, and I've loved every minute of it.
Awesome. So now part of the education is doing internships. How many internships do you do?
We've been required in the past to do 250 hours of like a work experience. And then after that, we do internship 1, which is for 500 hours.
Okay.
And then we do internship 2, which is another 500. So in total, we do 1,250 hours of like internship.
Wow. And just, this isn't whatever, but you still are paying your tuition and you're working to do those internships,
Yep.
right?
So a
Just
lot of us work part-time or full-time along with going to school full-time.
Right. Right. It's not an easy thing. And so this internship, how long have you been with the chamber?
So I started with the chamber back late April.
Okay. Oh,
and
wow.
so I've been here all summer, and I'm going to be actually finishing up here in September. My 500 hours are coming to a close.
And so what are some of the things you've been doing and learning?
So I've been learning a lot, actually. Jackie's been super amazing. I've been able to kind of like further my knowledge on, meetings and stuff like that. I've been involved in other organizations on campus and stuff. But this has given me a lot of more real world experience, just with the amount of like, well, I guess it is the real world. So it's kind of been nice to see like what actually happens versus like, what happens in my sorority meetings and stuff like that. So it's that comparativeness. I've also had the pleasure of planning the bowling bash that happened in July.
Nice.
So that was super fun and exciting for me because I planned events before, but doing it on such a large scale and with like real members of the community, working with real businesses. It was a great experience. Jackie was super nice and kind of just was like, I believe in you. And, I think it turned out to be a great event and I had a blast there. So,
and how was it working with some of the businesses on the beach?
It's been great. I help Sherry out with all the luncheons, wonderful membership luncheons. They're great experience. Checking people in, always talking to them. They're always so friendly. It's been a great experience getting to know people on the beach too.
And I'll ask you what we asked our last group too, is what have you gleaned from that's the uniqueness of Fort Myers Beach or the thing that you like most about it?
So Fort Myers Beach actually reminds me of home.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of what's drawn me to it. Just because I do get homesick here and there.
Yeah. Wow.
But there's definitely like a whole different culture. Like, I live over by the school. And so it's very like go, 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 fast paced, school, this, work, that. And, coming over to the beach, it's always so relaxed and easygoing. And it's just something I've grown up around and I love being around it.
Nice. Dear, you have some questions?
I'm sure you covered it all.
Well, what are some of the things that are coming up with the chamber going forward?
So we're in the works of planning Tapahop. It's the 17th annual one. It's going to be a great event. I unfortunately can't attend because I have class.
And what is that event?
The Tapahop. So we have the trolleys, going from different destinations along the beach. Places will be serving appetizers for the hoppers on the trolleys. And it just seems like an overall great event. I've been helping them work on flyers, planning stuff. I wish I could attend myself.
And when is that?
It'll be September 19th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Thursday night.
And is there a cost for that? Do you know?
Yeah, I believe check the chamber website.
Okay, which is
fortmyersbeach.org. I know the tickets will be $40 in advance and $45 at the door, but they won't go on sale to the public till a certain date, that date's on our website.
wow. You are very well informed. You are doing Jackie proud.
I definitely pay attention to all the little details.
And so, what is in your future now as you get ready to graduate?
So I've been scouting out. So as I said, my internship will be ending here. My 500 hours are up, which it's flown by because I've just been having so much fun.
Life flies by.
Yeah, it does. Because I remember starting as a freshman like it was yesterday.
Right.
So I'm gonna try and find some more experience in the industry, event planning and stuff like that. I'm working with one of my friends. She works at the VCB, and she did an internship in Nashville this summer, which is definitely
Nashville again.
Everybody's going to
Everybody's on the
Nashville.
Nashville.
Love
Yeah.
Nashville.
It's up and coming. Like
Yes.
a lot of people are very eager to move there. And,
Yes.
get started, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Our daughter is outside near Nashville, but
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
many of her friends from
It's-
here are migrating
I
up
just
there.
went and visited for the first time this summer, and I absolutely fell in love with the city.
Did you get on one of those pedal things?
I didn't. I was with my parents, so we decided I should go back with my friends.
Yeah.
And it'd just be a little bit more fun because my brother, he is 17,
Okay.
so we weren't actually allowed to drink on it.
right.
Are you saying
right.
your parents are
So-
no fun?
No, they definitely are.
But they have a 17-year-old.
We have a 17-year-old with us. So
Gotcha.
we asked one of the guides, and he said that you can rent out the entire bike, pedal, trolley, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, we know that.
And then-
I found out
but
the
you
hard
can't
way.
bring alcohol along with. So it'd be just you biking around the city,
and-
and you could just walk around the city.
Last
So-
time we were there was one sitting on the sidewalk, and I just got on it, and everyone started yelling at me. No, you can't. Come on, you can't.
Yeah.
Run. It was some wedding party or something. I was
That's
like,
true.
okay,
Yeah,
they're
people
all
won't be so
party
uptight. Can't have another party or with you.
They're all over. But yeah, so we decided I'll go back later on and do it with my friends when my brother's not around.
Cool.
Well, good. So I want to thank you so
Yeah.
much for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Yeah,
and,
Appreciate it. Yeah.
A shout out to your parents because
Yeah.
they've raised a
Oh, yeah.
articulate, smart, successful young woman here.
Yeah.
So thank you so
I
much.
know it's
for
hard
coming
working for
on.
Jackie too. So you
yeah,
know,
Jackie's a
when you-
slave driver.
when you get your next job, life is going to be easier. She's putting you through the torture now. So good work.
the
Good work.
torture chamber.
The torture chamber.
Chamber.
Oh, I
All
got it.
right.
Thank you for coming on, Katie.
All right, thank
Uh,
you.
Thanks a lot, Katie. Everybody. Yes, very nice. She was awesome.
She was great.
Yeah.
She killed it.
Look at you doing interviews all by yourself now too. You're getting better at that, dear.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah. So, a couple of quick things before we say goodbye to the big crowd. Oh
Okay.
boy, Bob and Stacey, big numbers.
That's
Great.
great.
Yeah, they did great. Big
That's
fan
great.
base, I'm sure. So we got to get more popular people on the beach and
Yeah.
get them on. How many people you think we'd get to watch and listen to the show if Bob was on? Huh? You never want to get there. You never want to go there, do you?
No,
We'd have
I
big
mean,
numbers.
I can't predict the numbers.
Big numbers.
Big numbers.
Yeah, big numbers.
Well, what do you think?
I think we'd have big numbers.
I
yeah.
know. Are you going to quantify that? or-
Hundreds of people will watch and
Qualify
listen.
it?
Yeah. So I'm really freaked out about the audio. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why all of a sudden I feel like the audio is not working or something, or it sounds freaky. So
Have people been?
I don't know. No one ever complains. Like I did a test last night on the new
Oh well,
equipment.
maybe they don't complain about that, but they complain on your Facebook
So
page.
okay,
Oof.
so real quick, I want to talk. You talked about your running thing in the bathroom, and I want to talk about my biking thing, although it has nothing to do with being naked. And
Well,
if you
I
missed the
hope
first part of the show, you'll have to go back and listen to that when it comes to her and running and the naked part. But so I started biking at 3:30 this morning. I got up at 3:30. I got up at 1:30 and I was on the bike at 3:30. And so I have these really high powered lights, as you know, and they're awesome. I mean, they light up the road.
I
So
know. Mhm.
I realized that they don't last for 3 hours.
But you don't use them on the beach, just to qualify.
No, I don't ride on the beach. I don't run on the beach with lights anymore. I'm so freaked out that I'm going to step on a turtle and or have what's her name just come knocking on our door. She's what's her name
turtle time
again?
lady.
Yeah,
I can-
the turtle time lady. Oh, I can't believe I forgot it. Well, I don't remember anything. But so I get all the way to Bonita Beach, right?
Uh-huh.
At 5:30. By 5:30, I'm at Bonita Beach. And then I realized that two of the lights are dead, and I have 2 lights left. 3 lights that I bought, and 1 light that your mom bought for me for Christmas.
Okay.
So I saved your mom's light for last. So then I get to coming back to the beach this way, and all 3 of the good lights, I mean, my lights are out.
Okay.
They're dead. And then the 4th light, for some reason, every time I hit a bump, the light that your mom bought me shuts off. So now it's pitch black, and I'm riding down Estero, the worst part of the ride, because, you know, there's construction going on.
Right.
Thankfully, there are no cars at, you know, 5:30 and 6. And then I realized, too, because I've been biking it so long, it takes forever for it to get light again. Where it was 6 o'clock, it was getting light. Now it's like, it was almost 6:45.
That's
7
change
o'clock.
with the time. But did you get off and adjust the light?
No,
because
no.
I think you
I
just
don't
had to tighten it.
No, oh, come on.
Listen,
you're trying to
we
teach
know
me how
you're-
to ride a bike?
No,
Somebody who's
I'm
fallen off the
teaching
bike
you-
twice?
I'm
You've had
teaching
a-
you
you've had
how to
s-
be handy because you have no skills.
You've had
as a
several
handyman.
concussions thanks to falling off a bike. So you stick to what you know, and I'll stick to the biking knowledge. Okay.
I'm talking about the flashlight, which you have no
Not a
knowledge.
flashlight. It's a bike light. So anyway, every time I
Moving
hit
away
a
from
bump, the light would go off. So, and then I have to hold on with 2 hands because of the construction. I thought I was going to go down. I made it okay. I know that's all you care about is to make sure I made it okay.
Well, that
So
was
yesterday,
a thrilling story.
did you get the text that I sent you yesterday that I needed somebody to come home to let me in the house?
I didn't get it when you needed.
Okay, so I
me
got
to
home
come.
from the gym yesterday, and I take my house key off the keys to the truck because I need to warm or get the air conditioning going in my truck because it's so old. I mean, you can't just get in that truck.
Right.
By the time you get to the place where you're going, it's just starting to cool up. So I always take the house key off. I'll make it quick, dear, and then you can get to whatever you want to talk about. And so the key to the house fell underneath the seat of the truck. And all right, no big deal. So I start looking for the key. I can't find the key. It would not turn up. Now I'm moving the seat up and I'm moving the seat back. It took me a half an hour. Now, the whole time I'm moving the seat up, moving the seat back, I'm realizing what's underneath my seat in the truck. Have you ever really gotten underneath your seat in your vehicle to see what's there that's built up there?
No,
for
and
years?
we both have vehicles
Ugh.
that have a lot of history.
I was disgusted with what I found. I mean, there was food, I'm thinking, from the Ali Frazier fight, the last Ali Frazier fight. I mean, it was so disgusting. So I found the key. I don't know. It was like magnetic. It stuck to something. So every time I was moving the seat up and back, it just kept moving. And the dogs are barking in the back. And so
why didn't you just go through one of the windows?
I'm not going through one of the windows. I'm not going to do that. I'm
Why?
irritated because I needed to find the key. I was not going to give up until I found the key.
The dogs could have been in dire need of
So I
some
found the
help.
key. Well, yeah, your dog is, she's crapping all over the house. So let's
Well,
talk real
she was
quick.
sick.
We have like 5 minutes left. Let's talk about the street performers.
Okay.
What do you think about the decision that the council made to allow 12 permits for street performers, but you're not allowed to sell product? Now, there are 3 people that we've bought product from. I don't think we bought anything from Mike, but we bought something from the Palm Frond guy, and I certainly bought surfboards from the surfboard guy.
Right.
So, and my thought, I'll let you go first because I've been talking for a while.
I guess, first of all, I have to expand my personal definition of street performer, because at first when you say that, I think of someone doing a magic show or, someone not necessarily selling products, but I'm guessing that now includes people who are artists and people who are craftsmen or craftswomen or craftspeople. I mean, I don't know.
And Anita's point on Monday was that she owns a business down here.
I know.
And she pays a lot of money for the rent down here. So it doesn't make sense for somebody to be able to get a $150 permit to stand outside her door and sell things. And I get part of that, but some of the people that were posting on our Facebook page were like, well, some of them thought there was a conflict of interest, that she shouldn't even been part of that conversation. And then the way Joanne put it was, Joanne was saying that, well, you're the expert down there. You're living that part of what's going on. So they wanted her input. So that's always the tough thing about being in a small community. I mean, people own businesses or do different things. So that was the one thing. And the other thing is, are they really selling things that would compete with you? But my thought
Well,
was,
but we've talked about this, that competition is good
well,
and that it brings it up
I
levels
don't know
everybody's
about that.
game.
That's not competition, though. That's unfair competition. Because my point is, let's say that what's his name? I think it's Dave. Painted me a surfboard like he
Okay.
did, and I was astounded by the amount of money he charged for it. But let's say he charges $100 for it.
Okay.
Was that $100 that I was going to go into her store and spend, and now I have? That's not fair.
Well,
Because he's only got to pay $150, and he can constantly be taking people. Now she doesn't sell surfboards,
well, that's
but the
my
guy across
point.
the street does.
Okay. And so the guy across the street sells surfboards. Are they customized?
I don't know. I'm sure that they're you know, he buys them by 50 or 100. But the point is,
Well,
if I'm spending money buying one of those palm frond baskets or buying a surfboard, is that money that I might have spent in one of the stores? That's a fair question. But the other point of it is people love to see that down here. It's,
Yeah,
it's not easy.
somebody made the comment about years ago getting a caricature made of them when they came down to the beach, so there was an artist that, and you've gotten those before. We've gotten those up in Disney, and how personalized and she really, looked fondly on that. And that's not something that you can get here. Or the palm frond basket, we bought one of those because it's unique and it's handmade. And so there is that market for those things.
I think what happened was they all got the permits, and what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to do those things for tips. Like if you said to the guy, build us a basket, and then he came and said it's $25, and you said, well, I'll just give you $5 because really I know what the rules are. You're only allowed to ask, it's only a tip. I can give you whatever I want.
Well, I guess that's the thing too. I mean,
it got out of hand. You're not supposed to be asking for the specific amount of money.
Well, if that's the rule,
it's been the rule. It's been the rule from day one.
But I mean, I think
how do you enforce that? Because the customers aren't going to complain because they love the product.
I think the thing is, to me, it seems like the way it's written isn't really covering now what you're trying to cover. It's a different.
No, they fixed it.
It's a different.
They fixed it now. You can't. Mike and the surfboard guy. I think I just broke the chair. I knew I ate too much last week. Mike and the surfboard guy and the palm frond guy. They have 1 year left to go before they have to stop. So I mean, that was nice. They gave them a 1 year, reprieve or whatever. But I think that people are pissed. People are upset that their residents are pissed, and it might not be the end of it.
Well, somebody else suggested that they find an area where you could put some, craftsmen.
Or have a craft fair right down here. Have a craft fair.
Well, but that's only once. People that want to sell their stuff regularly would be good if they had,
Isn't there a guy down the end of the road that's always painting people under the tree? It's not on people. I think there's a guy down the road somewhere on the left side that's always sitting in a chair and he's painting things. Well, you talk about me. You need to get down there more.
I didn't say anything about you. I just said you need to do your research, and clearly you didn't because you don't know.
I think there is a guy down there. Somebody's going to post it on there. There's a guy down there not too far.
Okay.
Past the Sand Dollar or the Sand. What's it called? It's not the Sand Dollar. What's it called? The place that loves us.
You're making my point.
What is the name of the? No, it's because I can't remember things. What is the name of the place that Chad goes to? What's the name of the Silver Sands, the Sand Dollar. Sorry. Anyway, I see him down there all the time. I gave him Mark Hart once to come on the show.
You're not going to get a job at the chamber, that's for sure.
I'd brush up on things if I worked at the chamber. So there was that issue, and there was, the other issue that we get yelled at for is about what Joanne said she saw, which it's freaky. Joanne said that she saw, or her husband saw, a girl coming down, what he thought was a girl walking down his street in a bikini or a bathing suit. And it turned out she said she was assaulted and drugged and assaulted at the Lani Kai. And people get all pissy that we talk about the Lani Kai. Well, it gets the most views. It gets the most feedback. It's an issue. It's an issue because of the video. It's an issue because of the lawsuit. And to me, if there was no lawsuit, I wouldn't even give them any airtime at all. So anyway, we post things that we think are interesting to people.
And
you're welcome to post on there. By the way, for those of you that say
something, though, I do feel passionate about this, and I don't usually blah 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 because I don't really comment very often, if at all, on the Facebook page. I try to let it go as it go and let you do your thing. But I really do take issue, and I don't know who it was, and I'm not going to say if I did, who made a comment that, why don't you guys get off the negativity and you never do anything positive, or what kind of and what I would say to someone like that is I'm not a big proponent of the negativity campaign that you get accused of being on. And I understand that. But we have done a lot of shows about positive things going on in this beach. So that characterization I am offended by, and that person should take a look at the history of the stuff that we have done.
Wow. You should have
really
just dropped the
upset about
mic
that.
and walked off. No, don't drop that. That cost too much. Well, that was great, dear. You should do like an editorial at the end of every show on something that gets you all riled up. Your face is all red now from that. You got all verklempt. We do. What, you don't have to explain it. We know what we do.
All right, but I personally feel like that I took that personally.
I think that's like a Twitter thing. People just get on there to see if they could get under your skin. I could
care about anything else, but
I play around with people like that a little bit, and then I get tired of it, and then I move on, because it's just like sometimes you can't argue with people because they only see that one issue.
And I argue with you all the time. And you share with people how I don't like some of the stuff you do. And I call you bad names because it's some of the bad stuff you do.
Wait a second now. What are you talking about? What bad stuff
I'll call you
a
jerk sometime.
Or
I'll
okay,
tell
that's
you
a bad name.
Well, I'll tell you when you're out of line.
Right. That's why the show works, dear. Because I try and push it to the line, and you reel it back in. No. Anyway, that's not something we talk about all the time. That's something that's going on. That's something that came up at the council meeting, among other things that were involved in a 4-hour meeting. And so there will that we know about.
Now you ran your mouth so long, we didn't get to say goodbye to our new friends. Right.
We'll make new friends, dear.
Well, we're going down there.
I'll show you how to make some friends.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
you, Mr. Social
we are
Skills.
4 minutes over. By the way, dear, I did some upgrading of the equipment that we're testing. The great thing about the new equipment, if it works, is we can take calls. Now,
well,
that would be cool.
Know. I see you struggle. No offense. Every week getting
I don't know what the hell. I don't know.
I don't have a lot of confidence.
The reason I leave the house to work out so early is because I'm so afraid something's going to happen to the equipment.
Pretty soon, you're just going to come down Friday night and start setting up and riding your bike.
I got here at 6:00. I was like, "Where the hell is everybody? Why isn't anyone here so I can set up?" But they were here. They were inside hiding on me because they didn't want me to bother them. But anyway, the equipment is so cool. It was made just for podcasters, and it takes calls. The thing is, we can't figure out the audio, so I have a guy on it. Our guy is on it.
Got a guy.
He came down and took
maybe
the
he can fix your stinky flashlight.
My flashlight is fine. Stop picking on my flashlight. All right, everybody. Don't forget to listen to Congressman Brian Mast. He was killer. Hopefully he'll run for president someday. He was that good. And of course, he's a veteran, and he kicked some ass for us when he went over there. So that is episode 72. This is 73 or 74. I don't even know why we count them anymore. Who cares? Why do we put numbers on them? Nobody cares, because that's what podcasters do. And we're rambling on now. Big numbers from Bob and Stacey. We want to thank them very much. We want to thank everybody on the Florida Podcast Network. And, of course, we want to thank Nikki and Ed, Fort Myers Beach, FMB, Designs and Remodeling, 239-362-8408, 239-362-8408. And she's killer, and everybody's great. We appreciate everything you guys do for us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and wherever your podcast can be sold and heard. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.